Good morning, Peter Wilson.
Good morning, mate.
How are you going? Great to be here. We're in your house, and
Yeah.
I've just dropped by for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Great to see you again.
They,
Well, today is the 17th of January, which means it's the day 17 of what I'm calling 100 Days of Harvest, as part of
Yeah.
this project, the Friendship Tree, looking at the story of friendship between Australia and Korea.
yeah.
And you're actually a Korean War veteran.
Well,
Okay,
I
well,
was a veteran from 1955 to 56.
so that's worth talking about for a start. When people say the Korean War, typically they're talking about 1950 to 1953,
Yeah.
when the armistice was declared.
Mm.
But you arrived in Korea what year did
March 1955.
you? March 1955.
And we were posted to 1 Battalion All Australian Regiment
Yeah.
based on the Imjin
Oh, really?
River.
So how close to North Koreans were you then? You would have been very close.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
would have been very close because on the Teal Bridge
Yeah.
we did a guard, and the North Koreans were on the other side.
Yeah.
We were on this side.
Yeah.
They were doing a guard on.
So you were in clearly visual distance to the North
Yeah.
Koreans. Yeah.
And funny thing about it was, I managed to catch a turtle,
Really?
and
On the bridge, or in the river?
underneath
Oh,
in
really?
the water.
Yeah.
I brought it up, and we looked after it, and the North Koreans came over and said, what about the turtle? I said, well, after a bit of sign language and
Right.
everything else,
Yeah.
we said 3 cartons of beer.
You're actually speaking to North Koreans.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we
how
got-
many of you would have been in this conversation? How many?
Well-
just you, or a few of you guys?
Well, the number of North Koreans on guard over there,
Right.
on a roster system, they were
Okay.
doing 6 on and 6 men on and 6 off.
So like one basic strong point on
Yeah.
either side of the river.
Yeah. But there was 6 men in all.
Yeah.
We ran out of beer, so as a consequence, I did a little patrol, grabbed the turtle back,
Oh,
and
is that right? Yeah.
anyhow they come around, said, "Have you seen our turtle?" I said, "No, I've caught another one."
Got another one. Fantastic. Yeah.
We got another 3 cartons of beer for it, and we left it off at that, and that was on the Teal Bridge over the Imjin River, and
That's a great story of diplomatic relationships with North Korea, isn't it? by coincidence. But listen, let's take it back to March in 1955.
yeah, where we landed.
Yeah. So you flew? Did you fly or did you sail?
We flew to Japan,
Flew to Japan. To
Spent a
which
few days
which
there.
airfield in Japan? Do you know?
Irakunia, and
Okay.
then we got, we got shipped from, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Fukuoka, or where did you go from?
We flew to Irakuni.
Right.
The then we got transported down to Hero, which was the
Okay.
Gloucester base.
Right.
Then we spent a few days there, and then we took the ship, a small ferry ship, over to, we call it Busan, you now call it Busan,
Yeah.
and we landed in Busan for a day and a night.
Yeah.
On the night time we were told we were going to move out the next day to up to Seoul, and then move on from Seoul to our battalion.
Okay.
On the
So you were a reinforcement, were you?
yeah, we were reinforcements.
Right. Okay.
12 months on and 12 months off.
Okay.
We got to, that's right, we had a big concert there on the night.
Organised by
with the
Americans?
Korean girls and whatnot, dancing
right?
girls.
Yeah, I've seen some footage of some of those. They're pretty impressive.
Beautiful it was.
That's right. Yeah.
And of course there were a few catcalls amongst the boys.
Sure.
Of course the girls were that lovely.
Yeah.
And then we went off to bed, and we got the message that we were going upwards on about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I raided the kitchen for rations because I'd been told there'd be nothing on the train to eat. And of course, the trip from Busan to Sewell was a very lengthy one by train.
By train? How many hours?
Huh?
About 12 hours? Would it have been that long?
Yeah, something like that.
Because today you can take it in 4 hours by the KTX. Yeah. No, in fact, you can go less than that. I think it's 2.5 hours by the KTX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the train there.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I was lucky. There was an Australian cook on duty, and I told him what was going on. And he said, "Oh, that's all right. Help yourself." So he helped me, and we had enough rations on board the train to feed us all.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So we got off Sewell, and then we embarked by truck to the Imjin,
Right.
where 1 battalion was based.
Yeah.
And I went into anti-tank platoon.
Right.
And I stopped there for about a month or so, and a couple of blokes were a bit mad. And one threatened to shoot someone, and I got out and transferred to.
Tempers were rising.
Yeah.
But let's just pause there in that story. So, I mean, you talked about engagement with North Korea in a very jovial way. Apart from seeing North Koreans, this is in 1955, 1956.
Yeah.
There was no aggression between North Korea and you at that stage. That had long finished. And so I think just to where we picked up at the beginning of the story, when people say Korean War, they say we mean 1950, 1953. But what's quite often left out of the story is the ongoing service of peacekeepers. Do you consider that your action was peacekeeping? Was that?
Yeah, it was a peacekeeping force, and
they didn't call it that though.
Yeah. What's a better name than peacekeeping? I mean, let's just say on operations, just to make it easy.
It was basically operations to make patrols and whatnot.
Okay,
on
so there was patrolling every day, and that's it. So, I mean, there's a lot of stories there in terms of what Australians have been doing in Korea that largely go under the radar. I mean, I'm astounded every time I see a Pete, I hear a new story, and I'm sure I could stay here for days and days and days, which Edna wouldn't appreciate. But there'd be countless stories coming out, and they'd be great to hear. But too often we go to a memorial and we'll hear a politician talking about Korea, and they'll rattle on about Kapyong or something else, which is really important. They're very important battles. But there's a lot of actions and stories, and just the general day in, day out lack of privation, or the privation that people like yourself undertook by serving Australia in Korea, which is largely not told. It's one of these parts of the story that's really doesn't really get aired. We'll wrap it up very shortly. But is there anything you want to say about how Australia goes about recognising the Korean War now? How well are we doing on that?
I don't think we recognise any of the wars, really.
Yeah.
You look at Korea, then you look at Vietnam, which was a...
Yeah. I mean, you said in Vietnam too, didn't you?
Yeah. And then you served in Timor, and you look at what fuss have they made over Timor now.
Yeah, but that's by the by. But yeah.
Then Timor now have got arguments with Australia about the oil.
Yeah, and the gas. Yeah.
So we go on, but the public generally isn't interested.
Yeah.
In the wars. Afghanistan was all right. The young bloke that got killed in Afghanistan, Cameron Baird, we knew him well.
Really? Yeah.
He's a lovely bloke.
That's sad, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I think even with Afghanistan, we'll know the big picture, but the day in day out life of what the soldier did in the barracks, on a patrol, what he ate, what he did, these sort of things. It's largely
we had ration packs.
Yeah.
We had Tinder Bully V.
Yeah.
Lord Nuffield used to send over a tin of 50 cigarettes on issue every payday.
Nice.
Miner used to give to the Korean Davy boy for an exchange for cleaning my clothes and boots. Yeah. And I think more Koreans got probably emphysema out of my smokes.
Yeah. Well, that's a great note to finish on. In terms of friendship between Australia and Korea, the sense of exchange that you guys would have haggled between you guys in order to swap cigarettes for washing. That's a great. So Peter, thanks for your service, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks. People out there don't know the support Peter's given me in the past, and you've been a great help, a great friend, and a great help. So thanks very much. And it's great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, all right.
Like I said, I'm gonna head back to Korea this week. When I'm in Korea, I'm gonna get down to Busan, and I'm gonna have a look at that memorial drainway, which is in between the two parts of the cemetery. It's named after the youngest soldier killed in Korea. He was 17 years old and an Australian, Daunt. So I might capture that story. I'll send it to you, and I'll let everyone else know too, because that's a tragedy that anyone should die. But certainly at 70 years of age, that's too young. Peter, thanks for your service, mate. Any last words? Any last words?
Any last words? No, I suppose one of the funny things was I was playing cards for the American Negro.
Yeah.
And Yankee Master Sergeant came up. He said, "Say, guy, we don't play cards with Negroes." I said, "Oh, yes." I said, "Do you go out with Japanese girls? Do you go out with Korean girls?" "Yeah." I said, "Well, what's the difference between a Negro and a yellow?" He looked at me and he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, they've all got the same blood, haven't they?"
Yeah, right.
And that shattered him. Anyhow, 10 years later in Vietnam, we met up.
Get out.
Amazing. The Negro and myself, and
did you play cards again?
Yeah, he was with the artillery. Yeah. He was such a brilliant bloke.
Yeah.
He was a medic, and he did a fractured jaw out in the field. The dentist would not even touch it. He said it was so brilliant.
So good, yeah.
The repairs on it. And we made a lot of friends with the Yanks.
Yeah.
Whilst I wouldn't put Australian Army blokes underneath an American general.
Yeah.
I would say that we could make a lot of friends with them.
Sure.
The same with the Koreans. I met the Koreans in Vietnam. They were great. There was one story which I wouldn't tell on the video because they'd get upset.
Okay, well, we'll save that for another day.
But I'll tell you about it after this
No
is
worries.
over.
Peter, thanks for your service, mate.
Yeah,
Great,
righto.
great to see you, buddy. Happy New Year.